UFC 326, Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway, main card predictions. Let's get into it. First up, you got Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira. I think Ferreira's going to do the very wise thing here and wrestle with Rodriguez, as Rodriguez has been shown to have that significant power that could just turn your lights off in an instant. Yeah, that's the way to go for him. But I do think Ferreira has the power to rock him, of course. But I don't see him doing that within the striking realm, as I think Gregory Rodriguez is better at managing the distance. Therefore, Ferreira, he should shoot some takedowns and he'll get some heavy ground and pound. And he could be looking for the finish via submission or demolition in ground and pound. Guys, I'm rocking with Bruno Ferreira. Drew Dober versus Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson is very good distance manager and has some pretty good boxing in and outside of the pocket. But I do see Drew Dober getting in close and getting a big knockout here. I don't see Michael Johnson being able to withstand the power of Drew Dober. I know Drew Dober hasn't looked good recently, but something tells me that he's going to do good in this fight. If you know what I mean, it's not normal why he does good in these fights. Yeah, I'm rocking Drew Dober. Raul Rosas Jr. versus Rob Font. Rob Font's got some very slick boxing in and outside the pocket. Has some very good takedown defense to pair with it. Raul Rosas Jr., his striking, it's been improving. His power, it shows. But it's his grappling where he's just very good. And the only thing that you really have to worry about him when he fights is his cardio. Because overall, his grappling is very, very good. It's just you're going to have to worry about the anti-grappling of Rob Font. If Rob Font can't stuff the takedown, then I think Raul has a very good chance at either, maybe a slick submission here. Maybe he's made some improvements in his camp to get a finish in this fight, or edging out a decision. But overall, if this fight stays standing up, I think Rob Font does have the boxing ability to just pick apart Raul here and could make it an easy decision for him if it stays on the feet. Overall, I'm going to roll with the veteran in Rob Font. He's the more tested guy. He's the guy that just has proven himself more in the UFC so far. Not that I'm not saying Raul doesn't have a chance. I'm just saying if you're going to back someone here, it's better to go with a safe bet in Rob Font. That's my pick. Kyle Barallo versus Renier de Ridder in a 3-round fight. I don't see this going well for Renier de Ridder. I don't. I know I don't want to judge him off of his last fight, but he's never really looked great. He's always looked sloppy. And Kyle is a systematic type of fighter, and I do see him bringing problems to a guy in Renier de Ridder. I think he does have some pretty good grappling to pair up and try and submit de Ridder. I don't think he will, but I do think he is a threat on the ground, which will force a striking matchup where I do see Kyle having more success there, as he's just more structured and has a striking game compared to de Ridder, who has some pretty good knees down the middle, but fails to set it up really and throws it pretty sloppy. So I'm going to take Kyle Barallo to win this fight. 30-27 or 29-28, but it will be a decision. And for the main event, Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. Guys, this is a rematch that we've been waiting for the past 10 years. Max Holloway won this fight by kind of a weird stoppage in Charles Oliveira. I don't know what happened here, but he grabbed that and he fell to the floor. But I'm glad we're having this rematch here. Charles Oliveira says he's down to do the point down at the center of the octagon at the end of the fight in round 5. I don't know if it gets there. I really don't. Just because of these guys are animals. They're going to go for it every single second of this fight. Charles Oliveira is not known as a decision guy. I understand he went to decision recently with Michael Chandler, but he's not a decision guy. And Max Holloway, yes, he is. But the way he's been fighting lately, he's been fighting ultra aggressively. Therefore, I don't know if this fight even goes to the 5th round. I've always found that Charles Oliveira has been this boogeyman of the division. I find that his grappling is just superior to a lot of the guys. Superior to Max for sure, But Max has shown some great takedown defense. He seriously has. He's been shown time and time again to get up and get up and get up. He's been Toporia's toughest test. He's been multiple fighters' toughest test. I'm backing Holloway here. I'm backing Holloway. People talk about Charles Oliveira's improved striking. Well, Max Holloway's one of the best at it. He is. You have to give him that category in this fight. And for the fight, for Charles to win this, it has to be by submission. And I'm not sure if he can offensively chain wrestle versus Holloway. I don't know if he could get a takedown on him, because he's never been that takedown guy. He's been that get in the clinch, maybe get a guillotine out of there, or climb the guy's back, have a body lock, and go for the submission. That's the way he's been the majority of his career. He's never been a power double guy and get a big submission. You know, obviously, Holloway's been submitted before. I don't see him getting submitted by Charles Oliveira in this instant, in this point in both of their careers. I think Holloway's just a bit better currently. I'm going to give it to Holloway, and I'm going to give it to him. I don't know, man. I don't want to say finish, but, you know, I'll just leave it be there. I'm going to go Holloway, but I want you to tell me why Holloway should win, why Oliveira should win, and I want you to tell me which round this fight ends in, because I'm not sure about it going to a decision. Drop it down below, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. We'll be wrapping up the fight later this week. We'll be talking about the fight during this week. Guys, ciao.